Hey everyone, you with Tom from Ludicrous Feed. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm with Riz today from Carloop. Hey Riz, how's it going?
Yeah, going well, Tom. Very exciting. Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you and same to all our viewers. It's nice to be back on deck and showing everyone all the news from Australia and around the world regarding EVs. And what better way to kick off than to start with a camo seal or camouflaged BYD seal spotted on Sydney streets. And this article, of course, from The Driven, written by the one and only Riz Akhtar.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, it took it probably a couple of months to swim out here, but it's finally been spotted. It looks awesome, like those rear diffusers and just even in that camo. I wonder if that's going to be on offer when and if it does launch in Australia.
Yeah, it'll match my cargo pants for sure. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, there's quite a bit of excitement in the BYD community about this vehicle. Where does this sit in relation to the Atto 3? Is it more of a performance vehicle? Where does it stand?
Tom, I think it's supposed to be, sedans are generally a little bit more sporty, like the Model 3 compared to Model Y. So it's sort of sits in that sporty sedan space. Even the tires and the wheels that are on this car just look awesome. Um, and even just the specs that they have sent here, I think there may be a photo of the tires that shows the Continental
Mm.
tires that are on there. I mean, those wheels look pretty cool. Um, and yeah, they've got Continental tires on it, unlike the Batman tires that are on the Atto 3 that you recently took for extended test drive.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, it's just a sportier car, more aggressive, just with the design and styling as well. So less practical, but more sporty.
Yeah, I mean, this will certainly be a nice competitor to, let's say, the Model 3, Polestar 2, that sort of sedan
Mhm.
look. And I agree that the wheels look awesome, and even the styling, the shape. And yeah, Continental tires will certainly make those people happy that were a little bit concerned about the Atlas Batman tires, I
Mhm.
guess, untested on our Australian roads. Let's have a look at some of the specs. So here we go. You've written here, yeah, Continental 19-inch sport tires. That's great. And this person yeah, this person from social media that you found the pictures from said very impressive up close.
Yeah, Al spotted that on the BYD Owners Australia group on a morning walk,
Hmm.
and he shared some of the photos over there. So thank you, Al, for these, and it's
Mm.
really good to see one in person. Lots of excitement around this car itself. I guess the key thing now sort of remains if it's testing here, then there is a potential chance of it launching this year.
Mm.
Um, and now that BYD sort of cemented themselves as an EV brand, that the Atto 3 was the third best selling car last year, and it barely delivered, like they were able to deliver only last half of the year. So with this in the market and BYD starting to open experience centers and have some credibility in the market, I think this would sell really, really well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking at the overseas markets, particularly China and Southeast Asia, like BYD will definitely be in the top two in 2023 and beyond, up there with Tesla. So this car was spotted in Gregory Hills in Sydney by, as we know, as we said, Al from at the Facebook group in Australia, and I'm hearing that this was a right-hand drive vehicle as well. Here we go. From all accounts, it seems to be a right-hand drive version. I don't think there'll be very many right-hand drive seals around the world currently.
No, it's I mean, that's also fresh news because it seems that nearly everything else that's floating around social media networks, particularly coming from China, um, it seems to be a left-hand drive one. And if we recall, even last year when BYD opened their experience center in Sydney, the Dolphin was also left-hand drive.
Mm.
Uh, Now the Dolphin's no longer there. This is a right-hand drive one that was spotted by Chris, and you've seen that car in person as well, doing testing on your journeys over summer this time around, Tom.
Yeah, that's right. The Dolphin is, yeah, we saw it up close at Euroa on our road trip
Hmm.
to Melbourne from Sydney, and yeah, I've got to say, it's basically a Corolla-sized vehicle, Toyota Corolla. It's going to do really well. And I think if they sell it under 40 grand or thereabouts, it's going to do really well. I mean, speaking of price, Riz, what do you reckon the Seal is going to sell at in Australia?
I think the way things are going, and looking at the pricing that we've seen from other manufacturers, I'd say for it to be competitive, um, around $55,000 mark for an entry level model. Um, and there's two different versions. There is the 61.4 kilowatt hour equipped version that offers up to 450 kilometers of WLTP range. That hasn't been tested. That was just my conversion of what the NEDC range was at the moment. And then there's obviously a larger one as well, which offers 700 kilometers of NEDC range. So we expect it to be around 500 kilometers WLTP. That has the larger 82.5 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is similar to the Tesla Model 3 long range and the performance dual motor versions. That one can sprint from 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds, which is nothing to be laughed at. It's pretty quick. And I'd say, yeah, pricing wise, if the single motor version is around $55,000, then I think it would do very, very well. There's no other car like this on the market at the moment.
Yeah, and viewers who watched my Model Y3 versus BYD Atto 3 will note that the Tesla vehicles are about 30% to 40% more expensive than BYD in Australia. So if we translate, like say a Model 3, convert that down to a Seal kind of price, I think, Riz, you're pretty much spot on there with the entry level stuff. And look, 82 kilowatt hours for let's say 80,000, maybe
Yeah,
75,000 um,
b-
for
between 70
performance
and
version.
75 would be a
Yeah.
good price point, because what you don't want is to be too close to the Model 3 long range, because Model 3 long range is a cracking car, like for everything that it offers. Obviously, the top of the range Seal is a little bit quicker than the Model 3 long range without the acceleration boost, which can be added on for, I don't think, $3,000 in Australia. That brings the Model 3 long range sprint times from 0 to 100 from 4.4 seconds to 3.9 seconds. So off the factory floor, the Seal in its top of the range dual motor spec will be quicker than the long range Model 3. But because Tesla has a reputation and the supercharger network and all of those other things that come with Tesla's value proposition around their products, I'd say $70,000 to $75,000 would be a very good drive-away price for the top of the range Seal.
Yeah, you're right, Riz. You don't want to be too close to Tesla pricing, otherwise people will start to think twice. Speaking of charging, I guess one of the criticisms of my road trip video with the Atto 3 was the slow charging speed. We know Atto 3 tops out at 89 kilowatts on a DC charger. I mean, I'm hoping the Seal will be a bit quicker than that. And as we know, the charge port is also in a more conventional spot at the back of the car too.
Yeah, so they've tried to do a lot of things right with this car. I don't have the stats on its maximum charging speed, but I think I will be able to get them. It's just, yeah, you're right. Like, it would have to be quicker than the 88 kilowatt sort of cap that is
Mm.
on the BYD Atto 3. Um, because ideally these, to a certain degree, it is more of a sportier car. The charging speed sort of has to be up there as well.
Mm.
From memory, I think it was over 100 kilowatts, but I'll have to double check on that one.
Yeah, that'd be great if it is. It'll make the road trip easier. And you see the pictures there between the Seal, Atto 3, and Dolphin, all the marine creatures there lined up. And you can see, yeah, the Seal is certainly lower in height, a bit wider too. I don't know whether that's the camera or not, but certainly more of a sportier, angrier look than the Atto 3 and Dolphin, which is cool. I like it. I like it. It adds to the different segments of the market.
Yeah. I think it's really cool. Just on that charging that we were talking about, it's, I think, 110 kilowatts.
Okay.
So over 100.
Yep, that's very respectable. Given that I think a lot of the new chargers will be at least 150 kilowatts. So yeah, it takes advantage of those new chargers. Okay, cool. And there's a review there from I think that's
Elliot.
Elliot. Yep, Elliot
Yeah.
from Fully Charged. So check that out too, guys. Oh, Riz, yeah, that's cool. Thanks for this article too. Appreciate that. And just finally, yeah, so the Seals received a 5-star C and cap rating, which is the Chinese regulators. Let's hopefully they'll get a 5-star rating here in Australia with no issues.
Well, it's going to be very, very interesting to see now that they've gone through the process for complying and sort of meeting the regulation requirements around the Atto 3. This one should be a lot more seamless, and it's easier for both parties, ANCAP and BYD. One other quick point around where BYD is heading, the European expansion. Atto 3 is already in Germany and many other parts of Europe now, after I think it was only September or October when they sort of unveiled them in Europe at the Paris Motor Show. So they're already there. They're talking about buying factories of Ford and other companies in Europe so that they can fully set up their electric vehicle manufacturing in Europe. So it's just, this space is worth monitoring. And I think as soon as the Seal is compliant enough and they've done their testing and the orders do open, I think it will be a very, very popular car in 2023. So watch out for this one.
Yeah, I totally agree, Riz. Can't wait. And yeah, hopefully it'll drop soon in Australia once it finishes its testing together with the Dolphin. And yeah, looking forward to hopefully being present at whatever launch they have, and maybe even going for a little bit of a test drive with you, Riz, very soon.
I'll look forward to it. Hopefully these ones don't swim back.
Now let's keep them here. We've quarantined them. We'll keep them in the country. All good. All right, Riz. Well, that's great. Thank you again for the article. And everyone, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave your comments below around the BYD vehicles, particularly this one, the Seal, which is coming soon to Australia. Thank you, Riz. I'll see you next time.
See you then. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. And as always, happy charging.